We're back at the Snake Pit for another episode. Can you please introduce yourself? Kind of let us know who you are a little bit.
My name is Emma. I guess I'm here to ask a question that's on everyone's mind, which is, what's up, ball sniffers?
What's up? You haven't said that in, yeah.
You got me. God damn it, I wasn't expecting that one.
That was a good one.
What's up, MFs? So you listen to the podcast,
I have
huh?
listened. One of my friends are on it. I listen.
Who's your friend?
Well, the first one I watched, and that's where I heard that one, is William Holmes. That was a while back. I don't know if you remember.
Sorry, buddy, I don't remember. William. Oh, yeah. I remember that. God damn, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to him. I forgot about that one.
Shout out, Will. You're the reason I'm here today.
Yeah, damn. I guess I used to do the introduction like that. That's back when I didn't give a fuck.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, man, we're here. Can you kind of, I'm already looking at your Instagram. You're an artist.
Yeah.
You do some paintings. Can you
talk about them?
Yeah, let's talk about this is what you do.
Yeah.
Kind of a little bit.
This is my most recent one. I'm working on a rendition of Chemchok Haruka right now, and it's very tedious and difficult, and so I was like, fuck this, and so I did that other one, to make something but not be zoned in on this difficult painting.
Who did you say it was?
Chemchok Haruka.
How do you spell that?
CHEMOCK space HERUKA.
Hold on, I already spelled it wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fucked, dude.
I couldn't see the screen. CHO.
CHO.
No, CHEMCHO.
Chemchok.
Yeah, Chemchok.
This
yeah.
one, okay.
Yep. There it is right there. Okay. There are a lot of variations of this concept. It's more of a concept than a deity. It exists in Hinduism, but this one in particular is Tibetan, Lamaist, kind of like.
So what got you into this? Why this style, or this is a style of art?
The Chemchok Haruka is the figure.
Oh, okay.
Blue.
It says Tibetan Buddhist.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Tibetan Buddhism is really cool because it's like a combination of everything that came from India and then everything that was already existing in Tibet. And so there's like these really subtle differences between all the types of Buddhism. And that's my favorite one. I guess I got into it because when I was in high school, I read Brave New World and I liked Huxley. So I got Doors of Perception and I liked that. So Amazon recommended Food of the Gods. And I liked that, so I got that. And then, like, a couple of book recommendations later, I found my way to the I Ching and the Tao Te Ching, and eventually Tibetan Buddhism. I meet a lot of people that are into it, too, which helps.
Yeah, I asked you for a little summary of yourself, and you said you're into Tibetan lore.
Yeah. I read it.
Yeah, this is like, obviously, this is way different than Western, like, Judeo-Christian shit.
They share ties a lot.
Well, I was going to ask you this because I was going to ask you, what do you know about it? Because I've heard that the good Jesus Christ actually spent time with the people, the Buddhists.
I've heard that too.
And the Tibetans and the...
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's super
he went and
interesting.
got enlightened over there and came back.
And then he was like, I'm the son of God. You're the children of God. And they're like, oh, you're different than us. But he's like, no, we are all the children of God. Yeah. And that's where it's split.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard he was with the Dalai Lama and all them. Is that where the Dalai Lama is in Tibet? Yeah, because there's some like political stuff.
When they let him, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he is there. I don't really know the state. I know that recently, not that recently, but recently there was this Tibetan Idol, like American Idol, winner who was like, pro-Tibet, right? And the Chinese government fucking killed him.
Jesus.
Yeah, like political
super
enemies
fucking
to the Chinese.
Sad. He was like just this young kid who was really good at singing. It was like fucking sad as fuck. Anyway, his body, they were like, it burnt in a fire and there's no bones or evidence. It teaches he's gone. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
That's insane.
I had never heard of that. That's wild. But, so what got you into all of this? Why? What's your interest in?
It's like fluid and far-reaching, especially by now.
Are you a Buddhist?
Well, in order to
Or do you practice Buddhism? I'm sorry.
in order to practice it, you would need. So there's like the person, the aspiring individual, but it needs the support of a specific kind of community and community support so that they can have the time to sit there and meditate and get to where they need to go and explore. Without that community support, you're working. You can't really.
So you have to be
Not
like
truly.
like a physical.
You need to. Your
place
work
where there
needs
is-
to like flow with your
Like it's a
exploration.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It needs a group of people who are willing to let you sit in your room all day, not work, or work for, we're all going to eat dinner.
So you go like
Let's
a
all make
monastery or
dinner.
something.
Yeah, like a monastery is like a supporting community. But in Tibet, as far as my knowledge about Tibet is mostly from way back when, because the books I read about it were written a while back in the early 1900s. But back then, at least, the community and the spirituality of the country supported each other. It was all communal, especially because there's so great distances of like very treacherous land to cross in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just a lot of like, oh, you've come a great distance to this town. Here's some tea,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just kind of like very different.
That's one of those things. I'm not saying I would want to do it, but it would have been quite interesting to travel the world. Like not now, but maybe a few hundred years ago, and just experience like everything, like the Eastern world. That'd have been wild. Like going up to
Before they were like
true hidden
colonized.
worlds.
Yeah.
when you couldn't Google it. Like
Yeah,
what the
that's
fuck?
It was literally just go to inquire
Yeah.
and just discover.
Yeah. Exploration
Yeah.
without domination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, I don't want to. I hope I don't offend you in anything I say today, because I'm really am interested. And sometimes I'll throw some shit out there that might be a little outlandish,
That's okay.
especially
Me
to
too.
like,
Look at my it's all
like, well, yeah, there you go.
I think we're both
uh,
weird. I think that's why we're all here today.
Yeah. And that's the point of a podcast:
Yeah.
discussions and just to chop it up.
because it's I know some guys who are into this stuff, and it kind of, to me, it goes hand in hand with psychedelic.
Oh
Like-
yeah.
This
Well,
wave of
that's-
psychedelics.
That's a part of why I got into it, definitely. I'm not gonna lie. I took so I took mushrooms for a while, frequently, and then I took this one dose, man. And it was like 4 grams on a lemon tech on an empty stomach. And I don't remember anything past throwing up, I think. I think it was that trip. I don't remember anything, but I have this one memory where I like woke up. My memory starts and I'm in a bed and I don't know like where I am, who I am, English, whatever. All I can hear is animal sounds. Every animal imaginable. All the noises they can make. They're like the sounds of them like killing and eating and fucking each other. All the sounds, loud as fuck. I have no idea what's going on. And that's it. And I had this feeling that I was like falling through layers and that I almost landed in that layer, but I didn't. And my memory stops again. So who knows where I went, but I know it was fun. I know it was fun. And after that, I was like talking to a friend and I was like, dude, what is that? And he was like, that's a Bardo loop. The Tibetans talk about that.
What is that?
So, you might want to look up a diagram. This will be cool.
How do I spell that before I just?
I bet you
Humble
could just
myself.
put Bardo, Bardo, probably.
Bardo.
You could put diagram, maybe. That might be a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe Google will know what we're talking about.
Damn. Okay, that's crazy.
Is this even accurate? Is this what we're supposed to be looking
The
at?
Bardo, maybe. Maybe the Bardo. Bardo
oh, wait.
loops, maybe? I don't know. I don't have the best. Yeah, that works. That's great. But anyway, so like there are the I don't know if it's just Tibet or it's all of
Don't
Buddhism,
worry about it.
but they focus on the in-betweens between states of consciousness. So you have like your waking mind, which is like us right now chilling,
Mm-hmm.
and you have your dreaming mind, you have your mind after the death point, and there are like 6 layers, I think. And so there's like life, death point, waking mind, dreaming mind, trance is one of them, I think. And in between the states of consciousness, there are like worlds to be explored. And one of them is just like the animal realm.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like all impulse, right? I guess. Yeah. All like natural impulse. Like that creature in a natural setting. Although since humans are in a different part of the bardo, humans interacting with animals makes a different reality. But animals in a completely humanless setting are like circuits almost. They're operating on impulse within an ecosystem. So that's one of the loops. It's just like the sounds of that, of life.
So you've experienced these loops, some of them?
I guess, honestly.
That's what he told you?
Well, yeah, he just made the connection, and I got really into them. And I mean, I wouldn't say it's probably very different. If you put your mind into a trance through meditation and you take psychedelics, it's like, are you walking into the pool or are you jumping in and you don't know how to swim? You have to like swim for your eyes, I think, when you're on psychedelics. But when you are concentrating your mind to the point where it's like you're able to go there, you know how to swim. You've been swimming. So they can explore, they can map. They're cartographers of the psyche. They're mapping out everything they're finding in their brains.
Should have had Swagadelic on this one.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa.
That's our friend that would have really gone off with this conversation.
He uses all these
learning.
words.
Yeah, I'm just learning now.
Yeah, so like that kind of, this stuff inspired your art.
Yeah.
It's kind of clear now that can you go back to the pictures of the art? Now, are you on substances when you paint? And
It's hard. It's so hard.
Is it?
Art is like very difficult to do in an emotional sense. Like, or maybe it's a psychosomatic. In a psychosomatic sense, art is like, I don't know if this is everybody, but it took me a long time to be able to make art that was expression instead of perfectionism. Which I kind of just, I'm going to make something cool because I want to be cool. But then at some point, I was making art that was like, I have to get this out. This is like stuck in me and it hurts and I need to get it out. And that is like, what I experienced that as being is like if somebody got a knife and like cut you and you were completely numb and they cut you open and all this stuff just like sort of like flowing out of you, but you're numb and you're kind of like, that's what it feels like, especially if I try to paint on psychedelics, because everything is like that.
Yeah, so I've only done shrooms twice in my life. Well, 2.5 times. Twice in 1 week and then like a month ago at the Korn concert. So I mean, I'm trying to understand what, like, like kind of how you see it. Is it almost like these emotions are so vivid and so just blatantly there that you just kind of, is this kind of the expression that you create, or? Oh,
no, I would never try to create what you're going through on psychedelics.
No.
I could never, that's like so, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, because like, well, what is,
you never been on
my very first experience with psychedelics, I was alone and I was packing up my apartment. It was the biggest mistake of my life, because I was packing up my apartment because I was getting ready to move apartments. So I took the shrooms and just in a rush, I was like, I'm gonna get all these things off my wall. It was like I just started emptying my apartment, and I just had such a rush of emotions, like bam, 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 bam,
that
bam.
Sounds very cathartic almost.
It was, and I always say this because I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was gonna kill myself. I had to ask my friend to please come from Slayton at the time. Whoa. Please check on me in 3 hours, please, because I'm probably not gonna answer. I need you to come find me. And again, I wasn't intending it. I was just so like, I was experiencing emotions that I had not let myself feel, and I remember like having these like. I don't know how to explain it. It was almost like, it felt like a movie montage where like I would like
like it had
speed through like emotions, and I would feel like my head knocking back, and then I would get thrown into another fucking emotion. I
know
remember
exactly that feeling.
But this happened to me like multiple times through that night. Yeah, like literally, Roy, I remember looking at myself and my head was like knocking back, and I would just burst into tears and feel something, and then I would get through it. And I would move to another part of my apartment, and my head would knock back, and I was shot into another burst of things I had repressed. It was insane.
Chills right now.
But it was the ass kicking I needed, because I changed my life drastically after that week. And I'm a completely different girl.
A channel to open, because like it's like a juice
and it might have been
box,
ego death.
Straw.
It might have been ego death. Maybe a part of me did die that night. I don't know, but I am not the same girl before that trip.
You know that like the cells in your body constantly dying and being regenerated. Like death is like in your body. It's part of life.
Death is everywhere.
Death is. There's no life without death. Right?
We'll get into that one. I was going to talk about that in a minute, but I want to backtrack a little bit. Sorry. Can you kind of give me a little bit of a summary of your life? Where were you born? You were born here?
Mm-hmm. I was born in Grace Clinic, which is now an office building next to...
Oh my God, on the corner of 50th?
Yeah.
Now, were you...
Is it 50th?
50th University.
50th.
Were you raised in a household where these things were welcomed?
No. My mom has religious mania.
What does that mean?
It's when, so like mania is differentiated from other states of mind by the presence of psychosis. Mm-hmm. And psychosis is differentiated from other states of mind by the presence of delusions. And so she has religious delusions that allow her to never do what you're talking about and open that channel, never experience the emotions
that need to be experienced.
Yeah. She's like operating up here all the time, never going in. And at a point in your life, if you're stagnant for long enough, it drives you crazy. So she's very, very, very strict Christian, and it makes her very emotionally manipulative too.
And so that's your household you grew up in.
Yeah. My dad is like, so do you want to hear the funniest story? My mom like had a good godly man, Christian boyfriend. It was her first boyfriend. She was in college. Then he cheats on her, right? So she goes through her rebel stage where she gets her second ear piercing holes.
Nice.
And she dates the stoner bartender at the bar where she was a waitress at. Uh-huh. But then she got pregnant, so she had to marry the stoner bartender. And they were opposites. Yeah, so it's kind of hilarious. It's a little origin story. I feel like I'm just the embodiment of the phase that she never completed. So
that was your dad? Or that's your dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ever smoke weed with him?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He's a party man.
In secret, or did your mom know?
Well, they're not together anymore, thank God. I mean, I feel like that might be obvious from the story, but
not to me. I don't know. I thought they were.
That would be kind of cute if they were like opposites attract, and they like. Dude, I don't even have that optimism in me. I was like, yeah, no, but she knows, of course, but I just don't go mess with that, because she would be the kind of person like call the cops or something,
Yeah.
She's crazy.
Do you think we all have that in us, like that side that your mom has?
Yes.
I feel like I do in a different way. Because I maybe I do need to do psychedelics, because I do feel like everything's just fucking built up.
If they come to you.
And then I drink and I start crying and I get sad. That's what happens to me.
I feel like drinking and the sadness that it brings carries with it a numbness as well. You're like so sad that like you like feel it hollowing out, and then there's just this emptiness. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Whenever you cry really hard and you're drunk, you don't feel like it's like caving.
Like it's like a wallowing.
Y'all gonna make me cry on this podcast? No.
We might.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, I've been in that, but I know like that can be. I don't know, because I feel like some people even use religion to like hold them back. Like that's like the same way people use alcohol.
Or to keep feeling that hollowing out over and over because they can't get to what is beneath.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy because you can also use religion to actually feel like enlightened.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's a wild world we live in.
Mm-hmm. It seems like everything is like that. Everything has its extremes.
Oh yeah, and I think with like religion and just any practice of anything, like there is intention to be made, but also there was work to be done in those things too, more than just practicing. You know what I mean?
Did that your mom make you kind of not want to do religion, or did
No.
Or was that like a natural thing that you just?
or are you a religious person? Maybe Buddhism is kind of one, isn't it?
Well, I'm not able to be Buddhist.
Oh, sorry.
But I do. I really like the Tao Te Ching. I guess I float in the soup. I'm like a soupist.
That's what you meant by that?
Sorry.
I was wondering. You said that, and I was like, "What the hell does that even mean?" You have like, see, you're like, if I'm not, you're like you're kind of like swagadelic, and you're like these people in my life that I'm like, they just go with the flow, man. They just do whatever.
I guess that's kind of the soupy vibe. I think most of it is, I guess I grew up in a place like we were talking about. This is a good explanation of the soup. I grew up in a place where both of my parents were not familiar with the concept of reality checking. So they never checked their realities. They had a bunch of delusions, and each of them, and they kind of made a neurotic child that way. And I didn't learn how to check my reality until this summer. And so whenever I kind of like critical thinking was introduced to my brain, like it went through my body, and like it felt like my organs were like fighting each other because all these lifelong like psychotic delusions were like crumbling apart. And like since I kind of like spent all of my life like that, now that I don't have that, it's an over identification of symbols now. And I guess I can explain that too, because that's kind of a loaded sentence.
Everything you say, you're gonna have to explain. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I'm like,
Dang,
what?
I should have like
Okay,
practiced.
that's okay. Yeah.
Like what? I'm like, what?
Okay, so I'll give an example. Every time I step on a sticker, my brain remembers the thought I was having when I step on that sticker. Every single time, my brain is like, that was a bad thought because you stepped on a sticker when you had that thought. Now we're going to remember that thought, and that thought's going to come back up. And so like little things like that, associating your thoughts with that's a chance happening. Stepping on a sticker, this thought is in your head. There's no correlation. Thinking to yourself, is there a correlation? That's reality checking. But I never did that. So every little thing like that would build up into this vision of the world that was not critically thought. And so whenever that fell away, I just felt like everything was like this like squishy, I can't identify anything. Every time I tried to identify something, I realized that it's biased and that it's just like the stick. There's no solid correlation between anything. So I'm just in the soup. A potato floats by, and I'm like, that's a potato. And as I say it, it turns it into a tomato. And I'm like, that's not a potato anymore. That's a tomato now. But so I just don't identify it, and that's the soupiness. Does that make any sense? I'm sorry.
No, I in my own way, I think I understand that.
Well, we all need reality checks. That's what I was just thinking about. Like, and it's in different forms. And Jen's my reality check in a lot of time, because I fucking
yeah.
In this conversation, I'm a maniac in that. Like I put these limits on myself, and it's like this way or no way. It's like that's my way. Like I'm like, fuck that shit. And then Jen's like, no, it's okay. Like
I'm a very. I have, through my experiences of life, I have learned to just become very solution oriented, and also just very. Sometimes things just are what they are, and this is what's happening. So we just have to go with it.
I can't do that.
And just
That's the soup.
figure out our options and choose an option and go in that direction, because things are going to happen. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I have learned to rationalize and like slow myself down And so sometimes, you know, he's like that. And I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay.
It happened when we were painting
we
those.
can fix it. We can fix it. You know what I mean? Or like, hey, slow down. Just, you know.
Yeah, we were like following these people when we were painting that. And I fucking lost my mind painting that goddamn red rose.
It's fucking hard to paint.
Dude, it's hard.
And I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah,
I was like, this is it. I'm done. I'm
art
leaving.
sucks.
I was
Fuck
like-
art. I'm never painting again.
It was that was another reality check. I was like,
Just gotta.
because you know, she was like, just do whatever. And I was like, I can't just do whatever. Tell me what to fucking do, because this is going to freak me out, man. And I was like, yeah.
That in particular, I think of as the creator wound.
God, yeah.
What is that?
Have you guys ever seen Mother with exclamation point with Jennifer Lawrence?
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love that movie.
Yep.
So like,
Yep.
I feel like, have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So it's kind of like a Gaia metaphor movie. And so like, it's a relationship where the man represents like the Christian God image almost. And there's like a Cain and Abel scene where two brothers like fight and one of them kills the other one. And Jennifer Lawrence is Earth.
She's
And-
Mother Nature, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's Gaia. She's like, she is one with the house that she's living in, which she built from the ashes of what was his house before he met her.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives away everything that she built to these massive crowds of people who come in their house and take all their stuff. I'm spoiling the fuck out of this movie.
It's all right.
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. It's so good.
Who is
still
it?
still
Javier
worth a watch.
Bardem? Is that who it is who's playing the dad?
Oh, I don't remember. I don't even know if I ever knew his name.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
It is great.
Yeah.
And she has a baby. He takes the baby away, gives it to the masses. They kill the baby. It's Jesus. It's a metaphor for the whole thing. And it's very interesting because it portrays the creator in this like psychopathic, abusive
And
way.
that is one of the most intense scenes, because I will say
Mm.
this man is a writer, and writer becomes famous. They have a house in the middle of nowhere. People start flooding into the house eventually.
For one poem.
She's super pregnant. Her house is overtaken. There is smoke. Walls are being torn down. She goes into labor. So in all this madness, she has like a moment of peace where she's got her baby.
Mm-hmm.
The baby is taken away as soon as
When
it's
she
born.
falls asleep.
Yes, just because this baby, this
It's his child.
Yes,
and
it's
he's like,
greatness.
they
It's like
just want to see it.
and it's carried in a way where people are just so like they're driven to madness just to like move this baby to where they kind of forget that it's a baby and they kill it.
They accidentally
like,
kill
snap
it.
Yeah.
Mhm. They snap its neck and then they eat the flesh.
Yeah.
And she sees him in his communion. And it's very, I watched that movie and I'm a very talkative person. And I did not talk for like 2 hours and I just started making art. It like unlocked something in my head and I could just make art because that shadow of God, whatever, creator, in that movie is so similar to the shadow of like every human psyche that makes you feel that you need to know what to do when you're going to create something. You need to create something with intention and it needs to like look like something and you know whatnot. And if you don't, you're afraid of that madness of creation and taking that and putting it out. It's sickening and it's so cool. But it is there's like a heaviness to creation. Definitely. I think it's because like life and death would be like two sides of the same coin. You have to like cross through the rivers of madness and death to create.
Dang. Clip that one. That's I like that one. I was thinking about that playing guitar.
So music is so hard. I can't crack that. My anxiety is too big for music.
You play drums, don't you?
I'm
you played with
learning.
Josh a little bit, didn't you?
I always wanted to play, and then one of my friends was like, "Do you want to like babysit my drum sets?"
She played with what the fuck's his name? Blaze.
Blaze.
Goddamn, I couldn't goddamn think of
Bless
his
his
name.
heart.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't come out.
Blaze.
He didn't come out very very often. I miss you, Blaze. I hope he listens to this. Yeah.
Hey, Blaze.
I tried to get him to be in the band, but he's busy.
Busy doing
Boy,
what?
what the hell you doing?
You ain't doing nothing, fucker.
busy with his lady. He's busy with his lady.
Oh, chingo. It's all
Anyway,
this is me. I'm thinking right now. Damn it, and I know that's bad for her.
Walking on 50th the other day with a natty light.
Shout out to my
Oh
boy.
boy, she stopped by to say
Fucking
what's
drunk.
up and then drove off.
Oh, man, so,
dude, I know.
No, it was a bush light. It was a bush light.
so what's like what's a day like for you? What's your day look like?
I wake up at 5.
Okay.
And then I kind of press the alarm until like 5:20. And then I put on my clothes and I ride my bike to work. And I work from like 5:50 if I get there on time to 11 or 10. And then a lot of the times I'll paint at J&B or I'll sit at J&B and read because it's right across the street from where I work. Or I'll ride my bike down to this pool kind of near Monmouth. It's an apartment complex where the gate is like this tall. It's a really nice pool. So I swim in the apartment pool a lot. And I hang out with some friends sometimes. Sometimes I play music with Bree. You know, Bree and
Brianna?
Cinia, yeah, she's been jamming with Brie lately.
Yeah, and
they
I'm
have some
jamming
cool
too.
stuff. They
The
have
drummer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Saw her at Alamo.
there.
Did you see her at Alamo? She works at Alamo.
She does work at Alamo.
Saw her after Terrifier.
That's cool.
Do you work at Goodline?
No, I work
Oh.
at the bakery down the street from Goodline. I go to
The French one?
Mm-hmm.
I had some of their pastries not too long ago.
It's good, huh?
God damn, it's good.
I know.
Oh, man, I was
It's
like-
I
too
didn't know
good.
we had a French bakery.
Yeah, what's it called?
Take me
Brulee
there.
Bakery. Well, she's actually not French.
Oh,
She's from California.
Oh, no.
take me
Well,
to the
but
bakery.
it's really cool because it's her family recipes
No,
and
it's
stuff.
fucking delicious.
Yeah, it's legit.
Okay.
It's legit.
So are you baking it? You doing all that?
No, because I have another job at La Diosa, so I don't have the availability to bake. I just I do the front. I work the front.
Yeah, I was wondering why you go in so goddamn early.
Mhm.
Well, that makes sense now.
Bakery, yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
busy with the
It's cool.
the students and stuff.
Yeah, sometimes. Honestly, not really when I work. They come more in the afternoon. But it's nice to have such a long break from like 11 p.m. to like 4 or 6 p.m. of no work. But I still work a full day's work. It's just a giant break in between. It's great.
Yeah.
In that break in between, are you just hanging
Swimming,
out?
painting, reading, nothing responsible. Playing guitar. I've been playing. I picked it back up. I played it for like 6 years, and I didn't play it for like 5 years, and I picked it back up.
It's a fun instrument. I'm trying to learn how to play it.
It's fun.
It's really fun.
I love
We got the cops calling us for being too loud, but I'm trying not to let that discourage me. But
No, don't let them get
and
you down.
yeah, it's fun. It's a fun thing. It's like you're saying. Sometimes I'm like, even in my room by myself, I'm like, it's got to sound a certain way.
Yeah.
It does, and then I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Nobody's
but
even
this is
fucking-
music. This is music.
Nobody's even listening. I'm not recording it.
Yeah, you always feel like someone is.
God
It's
damn
the spectator.
I've finally started to like play in front of people. Well, me and Josh and
That's hard.
a few other. And we invited Jen the one time the cop comes to listen to us.
I was so scared.
And
He walks in, there's a little joint next to me, and I'm just
Oh
like,
no!
This
Oh
is it.
God! What,
This is
that
it.
sucks.
Yeah.
They have no right.
it definitely smelled.
well, he didn't
here.
walk in.
Oh,
He-
good.
I know he smelled it, and he was just a
Well,
very
smell
nice
is
guy.
not.
He was just super nice.
probable cause, right?
Yeah.
I don't think
Depends on
smell is.
your lawyer and the cop.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't. That's what I thought too. I was like, God damn it, goddamn weed.
I just
But he was cool. Shout out to you, man. You're fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like playing the guitar though. It's for that reason. Trying to.
Like
Just-
go, kind of.
Yeah. Maybe I should do psychedelics. I keep fucking saying that.
I mean,
but
if you don't want to jump right in the pool, you can do the swimmy way, and you can meditate.
I was gonna bring that
That'd
up.
be
That
a
is
lot.
also very hard for me to do. I can't
It's
sit
hard.
in silence for long. I tried. I just can't do it.
Well, you don't have to. Anything that's done by forcing the will is going to exhaust itself. You know, not even nature can make a whirlwind last a whole day. You know, it's like if you're pushing and pushing, it's going to die out. And if you're gripping, it's also going to suffocate. So it's that push and pull, the gentle swaying. You can put like a water source near you. Listen to the water.
That's a good idea.
I don't do silence either. I listen to Flying Lotus a lot when I meditate. Flying Lotus is really cool. Or water, birds. like outside.
When you meditate, what's going on in your head? Are you thinking about things?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking. Not on purpose, though, but it's called noting. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. The process for thinking when you're meditating, it's switching from your normal thinking, which is like intentional. Like a thought comes into your head, not of your own accord. You can't really control it. It's like a wave in an ocean. It comes in your head, and usually you get on the wave and you ride it and you see where it goes. You think intentionally, even though the original thought wasn't intentional, until you like reach a point of understanding, and then you might pick up another thought. A lot of the times what happens though is you pick up a thought and you're like looking where you're going to put it and there's nowhere. So you just keep looking. You forget you're handling it. You pick up another thought and you walked around all day with this thought in your head. You never put it down. And so noting is putting it down. Everything you pick up, you put back down again, because otherwise you're like, is this a coffee cup? Is this a coffee cup? Is this a coffee cup? And at some point you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's crazy because I was thinking about it. Thinking without intention, it scares me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like
it's your subconscious
it's fucking weird.
mind. It is super weird. It's your dreaming mind coming out when you're awake. It's, well,
my dreams are intense. I love my dreams.
Well, then your thoughts, your non-intentional thoughts, probably be intense too, right?
Oh yeah, you have no idea.
That's all your creative energy right there. That would free, instead of frustration, you would feel release if you watch those dreamy thoughts, get acquainted with them. That would flip the switch, probably.
So it's okay to
don't think
have your
that's a
head in the clouds. It's okay to.
Mm-hmm. As long as you got your roots in the earth.
This is not
And
new.
you're very rooted.
This is not.
No,
new.
you're halfway there. I'm the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, this is not new. I'm just speaking it out loud on the podcast for the first time. But yeah, my thoughts are. I hate my thoughts because it's like.
Yeah.
What
Dude, they can be terrifying.
and then they lead to me thinking about death a lot.
Yeah.
More than I want to admit.
Well, death.
I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
I'm sorry to say this, man, but the cookie was made to crumble.
Yep.
Death is.
Yep.
And well, I would say that there's something cool on the other side, because when I was like 9th grade or 8th grade, I got misdiagnosed, given the wrong medication, and the medication they gave me intrusive thoughts about murder and suicide.
Oh my God.
And just images of gore in my head. I looked it up, and it was the wrong medication. It triggered psychosis. And so these like gory ass images, and the worst was sometimes I would have these intrusive thoughts about cutting people open, fueled with like desire. And I was like, terrifying. I'm 14. I don't want to kill people. I didn't ever want to kill people. And I was very, very, very afraid I couldn't watch scary movies. I would pass out if I got a shot. I was like, what's the word? Like afraid of gore and blood and everything. I couldn't handle it. So afraid of it. And I hated my thoughts. I was so afraid of them, and that would make them go faster and more of them, repeat and everything. And then, I don't even know. Over time, I started to listen to them, and eventually I watched that movie Mother recently. Something clicked, and like, instead of like feeding, like, cause at some point it can be fun to think about death when you're not afraid anymore. It's like, it feels satisfying and fun to think about death and to explore how you might feel about that. It's a little risky, I would say, because like, if you spend a lot of time enjoying that, you lose empathy for yourself and people who are living. But if you avoid that side on its extreme and avoid the fear in its extreme, then in the middle is creation.
Almost an acceptance.
Acceptance, yeah, and an outpouring of everything.
I've met people on both sides of that spectrum of being so deathly afraid of end and tragedy and just anxiety of the wrong things happen, and living safely out of fear of the dark places, that life can take you that will lead to death, which is failure.
Because death is nothing. Death is inevitable.
It's going to happen, but people lead that to failure, I really think. But I've also met people that have rationalized death to the point of, it's nothing after, it's just black. We're never.
And there's a kind of sick enjoyment in that. And I don't mean
I've met people that almost like they just kind of crush you with that.
The pulling.
Their truth of that. You know what I mean? When in reality, it's just, I don't know.
You mean like people who are like, I know the way. I found out what death is, and this is...
Like, there's nothing after there.
Oh, I mean, that makes me sad when I hear people tell me that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it scares the shit out of me.
They're scared. They're scared. Yeah. Right? Maybe they're neglecting the dreams. It's like, by that logic, when you go to sleep, there's no dreams. You know?
What do you think happens after we all cross that bridge?
I kind of like, I've read a lot about these Tibetan monks and a lot about what they're doing. I have great respect for the amount of concentration, the amount of time they spend in concentration, the feats they can accomplish. And if they have mapped out what they believe to happen, and they say that they've gone there in their minds from meditating, I'm inclined to believe as much as I care to believe. But then again, the soup thing, I'm not going to cling to anything. I'm not going to grab. I'm not going to... Every time you say that's a potato, it's a fucking tomato. As soon as you open your mouth to say, this is reality, it's like, something else. It's like, you know what? Reality is reality. I don't fucking know what that means.
Well, does reality ever end?
No.
And it's never
like
going to
a
end?
fishbowl, like, going in. What's so cool. This is going to be the fucking, like, stupidest, hippiest, I'm not even a hippie, but hippiest shit I'm going to say all night. But, like, everybody is existing in the same moment forever. That's fucking crazy.
That's a weird thing to think about.
You know, the past exists. Like, have you been there? Like, let's go right now. Fucking prove it. Prove the past exists. Like, it's crazy. We're all here in this, like, fishbowl thing, and we die and we're still here, you know, like physically our bodies, and they like turn into other things.
I gotta ask you, did you watch Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Oh yeah, I love that.
How did you feel about that?
That was amazingly done, dude.
And if we want to talk about like catharsis and, you know, like cathartic experiences, that was
hard to watch.
It was hard to watch. It was heartbreaking because I really think that was like the definition of like mental illness. Like,
they did a really good job.
I have not related to anything like that since like Girl Interrupted, and that's on a whole different level.
Oh man, I love that movie. But man,
something about Everything Everywhere All at Once, like it crushed me, but it made me feel so seen. But it just gave me like a weird calmness, a weird peace, and like I bawled every fucking time I watched it. I think I watched it 4 or 5 times, and each time it was sobbing. And I don't know, man.
Man, you should read the Tao Te Ching. A lot of those concepts are pulled from that.
And I'm looking at this. That's why I'm really thinking about just the poster for the film. You know what I mean? But just a lot of like, you know, kind of what you're saying with just existing in this one moment. And, you know, like, a lot. What a beautiful fucking film. I really wish he would watch it. I wish he would watch it.
You gotta watch it. They did a really fucking good job in every way imaginable.
If you would just
just watch it.
Let yourself feel. And that's the thing though.
It's never been in the QA to watch. No.
But I really think it's just one of those.
Just watch it, man. Like, what the fuck?
It is like, such a beautiful film. It will just make you feel. Even if it doesn't make you feel the way it made me feel, you will feel something watching that film.
It's hilarious. Also, it's jarring.
Good.
It's like artistically,
it is.
It's worth just watching for the fucking effects.
It's cathartic. Doctor Strange.
Really good shit. Yeah, good effects. Very cool.
All right,
please watch it.
Yeah, I gotta watch.
I mean, especially with this conversation we're having, you know, just like dream, fantasize, let your mind go there. And this is a structured movie where
fantasizing.
Like, it takes you to so many different places, but it makes you feel so fucking much in 2 hours.
Yeah. There's
I love that movie
there's
forever.
the 2 paths. There's the like everything doesn't exist, everything reduces to nothing. You know that the daughter is on, which I know you don't know, but the daughter's on that everything is nothing, so it's all nothing. You can do whatever the fuck you want. None of it means anything. It's all nothing. And then there's the mom who eventually is like, everything is nothing, so it can be whatever it needs to be.
Hey, that's my life. I feel like that.
And
yeah, that's
what I took from it is like every decision you make affects everything you can do in the future, but also every failure you have is a different opportunity, a different life. You know, like, and it was just Man, what a fucking film.
And what I love about it is it takes away the pain of, because this is a pain I feel like we all experience, is like what the pain of what could have been, the lives that you could have led. And in this movie, it's like you are what you are, and in that way you are living every life that you could live, you know.
And none of them would be any better than the one you're living now.
Yeah, no, they all zero out.
It literally is just, it's the best of what you make of it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, please watch it with me, Roy.
You'll watch it and you'll be like, damn, they were talking the real shit. This is good.
And like, this is like a stupid comparison too. It's not even stupid, but it's just the way I feel. The way I felt when I watched this film for the first time is the way I really think people felt when they like watched Star Wars. Like, I really think it was like some moving type shit for people, and it moved me.
It moved me too. At the time that I watched it, I could not process I couldn't look the trauma that I inherited from my mom in the eye.
It made me want to call my mom so bad and ask her to watch the movie, and then I cry because I know she would not understand it.
Dude, my mom wouldn't watch it, man. She'd get like
mom,
2 minutes into it and be like, no.
Yeah.
I can't.
But it makes you want to call your mom.
It does. I couldn't even cry. Like in the mother-daughter like reunion thing. Like I wanted to cry, but like I felt like all of the pain of like having a mother in general. Just like it's very, very therapizing movie. That one and Mother.
Please watch it.
All right.
If you got mom trauma, you're gonna love this shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the other way. It's the other parent. Yeah. But do you ever want to have kids?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I when I was in kindergarten, did you guys have a kindergarten like graduation thing where they give you in my kindergarten, maybe it was my preschool. They had like a day. Graduation. Yeah, preschool then. It was preschool. They had the last day they give you your little like thing and they say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they announce it on the big thing. And I remember that what I put down as mom, and I remember that like I was on the stage and like they were like, Emma wants to be a mom, and everyone was like, and I was like I was like, excuse me, like this is my career choice. Like I was like kind of mad. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, that's what I want to do. That'd be cool. If I could, I'd have like 8 kids.
Yes, me too.
Nice.
Yes. I want a fucking shitload of them. Selfish reasons, but I do want a shitload of them.
Selfish reasons? What are you going to make them like give you money?
Well, we're all going to get old. I need somebody taking care of my ass when I'm old.
Okay, that's so true. I never even thought of it.
That happened in my life. I seen that happen and I was like, because I didn't want kids. And then I seen the old age come and it's like, you can't take care of yourself anymore. Yeah. Saw it 2 ways. I'm like, well, I better take care of myself now so I don't have to rely on people when I'm older. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, I better have a shitload of kids because if I piss one of them off, somebody's going to have to take care of my life. It's going to have
to be one of them that they're on good terms.
If willing, Jennifer, I would have like 10 kids. It's not up to me, unfortunately. As a man.
I mean, you're kind of lucky on that one.
I don't have to
like sit around.
Go through that physical pain, but
dude, and all your organs squish up, and
I would love to have like 10 kids, like
3.
Me too.
As the old
3.
Yeah, physically, as far as like the body and the money, I'm thinking 3 too, like around there, maybe 2. Yeah. But if I felt no pain and everything was like chill financially,
I've got a friend that's got 5 boys, and shout out Sarah if you're watching.
5 boys,
all natural. Like they're from the ages of like 5 maybe to like 13, so like back to back. But
holy shit,
yeah. But she always said that it was like intentional for them to have so many. Like the 5th was like a surprise, but they wanted 4 boys or 4 kids because 1, so they didn't want them to be alone, and 2, God forbid they lose one, they'll be alone, and so 3, you can't have 3 because what if one gets singled out? So 4, so they all have each other.
Yeah, I got singled out. I was a part of 3. I was the oldest by like 6 or 7 years. 6 in one, 7 in the other. And my siblings were 1 year apart, so they were best friends. But they only bullied me. They were like this big. I was like this big. And they bullied me.
I'm 12 years older than my siblings.
Oh, see, now that is in the caretaking, like, now at that point you can be like, oh, little guy, instead of them bullying.
Yeah, my brothers are way older than me.
I have an older brother, but My little siblings are all. I was 12. I was the only child until I was 12,
Wow.
and then they all started coming out. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, yeah. Kids would be fun. Not right now.
No.
Not for a long time, but
Nope.
Yeah.
Long
Maybe,
time
yeah.
from now.
Yeah, I would just re-traumatize the fuck.
Do you
out of it.
think-
I'd just continue the cycle?
because there is sort of that movement. And granted, I'll tell you guys right now, I don't care what you do with your life, but there is this like movement of like not having kids anymore. Do
Yeah.
you think we're supposed to have kids? Like,
No, I kind of don't think we're supposed to do anything.
I was, as I said that, I thought, damn, she's gonna say we're not supposed to do anything.
Yeah, nothing in particular. Most of the time when you have kids, it's not on purpose. So trying to find like this was supposed to happen or it wasn't supposed to happen just feels like it's like
Well, that was a dumb question right after you guys explained the movie. So never mind. I'm sorry, that's that one.
Yeah, no, I don't think necessarily. It's just another piece of the soup. I might not have kids, you know. I might not be able to have kids, you know. It could be anything. I'll be chilling, man. I'll be in the soup. I might be in pain sometimes, but I'll be in the soup. That's for sure. It will change.
I've always just kind of like, whenever people ask if I want kids, I'm always like, I don't think about it. I'm not trying to put that intention out there. I'm not manifesting that shit. But it's just if that's just the role I meant to have one day,
So be it.
then that's just I'll be mom. But I am not structuring my life around being wife and mother.
I'm not seeking.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I feel like if that's just the path that I'm going to take, or if that's just going to be a part of my life, one day it'll be a part of my life. And if it happens, it happens. And if not, hey.
It's very soup of you,
cool.
man. Think about joining my cult.
Like,
Is that why you came on
I'm
here?
just a Capricorn.
You came on here to get us all in your cult.
Yeah, the cult of soup.
No, I just I have just learned to be just I try to just have grace with myself and just be very rational. And I have learned that because I used to be like I don't want to say a pushover, but you know, I kind of had that roll with the punches attitude, and it caused me to feel pushed over and to feel very manipulated and to feel very like, I don't know, just
I get what you mean.
yeah. And then I kind of realized like I don't have to harden up.
Yeah,
I don't have to
that's
harden
so
up.
good.
You know, like
Yeah.
I can stay soft, and I'm not too soft for this world, and I'm not.
Damn, that's fucking beautiful.
But like it's become a blessing to be able to roll with life's punches and to be able to rationalize myself through that. I really realized that, like,
Man, you
what a
love
blessing to
Taoism.
roll with life's punches
That's
and
like
not let it stop me.
the most like Taoist shit I've ever heard. Like I had to go and like read a bunch of the shit you just like said. That's
Cry.
amazing. Oh, me
What a
too.
weed.
There's like, I think
I
my
just
favorite
feel-
thing. Oh, sorry.
And I was just talking.
Me too. Me too. I was just talking.
Do you think modern life can get in the way of all of this?
I think life, samsara is the obstacle. Samsara is the suffering that is innate to life and incarnation. That's like the word for it, because it basically means that everything will end. You know, everything that happens has an end, and that is painful, and that is the obstacle. No matter when or where you're living, there is always the obstacle, and it's half of you is the thing that's standing in front of you, stopping your growth, and just dancing with that is kind of like the thing. I think not really pushing through it or grabbing it or doing anything with it, but just like breathing with it and dancing with it. Modern life has definitely isolated us from a lot of things that we didn't used to be isolated in. Like I'm reading this book, Chalice and the Blade, and I think it's about, okay, I might say this word wrong. It's either Paleolithic or Paleolithic. I always confuse them. But societies way back when, they had this, instead of a dominator culture like we have, which like you could see in Europe, and then they spread it all over the world, this sickness where everything is kind of revolves around the idea of domination, and that's how you like acquire things like happiness, and you move up the ladder, and there's money and everything, and that's what made social media exist, which is so difficult to live with. But like, they didn't used to have that in every place. In some places, they had what are called partnership society models instead, where everything works together. And those were the places where they had infrastructure and plumbing and art and culture that were way beyond all of the dominator societies. They were like advanced for their time.
You're talking about the Mayans? Like this?
No, the Mayans were dominator based.
Oh.
I think they were a dominator society.
Well, I knew they had.
And when
like,
you say dominator, do you mean like
Usually
acting as
a-
in like a hierarchy almost?
Yeah, and hierarchy, usually a patriarchy, sometimes a matriarchy. Either way.
well,
hierarchy.
I knew like they said one of the things about like the indigenous people in like South America, they had very modern plumbing. It was a very clean society,
Yeah.
although they were sacrificing children. It was they
They're
had art,
sacrificing children.
they had art and all of that stuff. But that's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, there's a lot of I mean, human history is so expansive. There's a lot of examples of every kind of society that
Yeah,
we've ever
it's
had,
wild.
which is a lot.
Mhm.
The one I guess I'm talking about most specifically is Crete, I think is how you say it. It's Crete. It's like
in Greece.
Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way back when they had a very nice society. They still experienced pain and samsara, but they had a community that was oriented towards flow. It's kind of like the Tao. Everyone thought when they first discovered all of the remains of that society, basically, and all the art that they left behind, everyone thought that these drawings were of like war and hunting. And then a bunch of women started to be allowed to study things too, and they pointed out that they were like leaves and sticks and obviously not weapons. Because there were other depictions of weapons that were like used
Like weapons.
yeah, and so like it changed the whole vibe, and they were like, actually this society was not like the other ones. This society emphasized the garden. It's kind of like an Eden vibe. But
Yeah, did you see that they totally random they discovered a mosaic in like Syria of like the most complete they said it's like the rarest of the rarest finds. It's a mosaic of the Trojan War. It's a complete mosaic of the
Whoa.
Trojan War.
that's wild.
Yeah, and I guess for the longest time people didn't know if the Trojan War was real, but it was
Was it this?
4 days ago. Yeah, it was like
Holy shit, that's
and so they actually, I was reading that because you could see a guy guarding it. And this is in Syria, that they actually had guards going after people who were trying to find it. And now the guards are guarding the actual piece itself. So it's like kind of crazy. Yeah. It's, I follow these accounts on Twitter and I'm really fascinated with mosaics right now. I didn't know that they
Mosaics
were
are
that
cool.
important to the society at that time, or to the Romans and the Greeks.
Well, I feel like a lot of places use mosaics.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's super cool.
They just found that one.
Dang, fresh out the
Yeah.
new mosaic.
Massive
just
Trojan
dropped.
New
War.
mosaic just dropped.
Uncovered in Syria.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool.
Insane.
I like that kind of history. I think the Cretes predated
really
them.
cool,
They
though.
became what was them.
I think they got dominated by someone. They got wiped out.
Oh, well,
I think
probably by them.
whatever society was in the Chalice and the Blade I was reading about, I'm pretty sure they got taken.
I'm gonna take a break. If y'all want to, I have to pee really bad. If you want to keep going,
We can take a break.
I'm gonna take a little break real quick. I have to pee.
Okay.
Got
Then you should check out George's again. George's is like my top fist. The little patio they have. It's so crisp.
I don't know.
Air.
But
It's nice.
we usually, in the middle of the day, we will find a coffee place to go to or a little bakery just to be all like,
Oh,
cute little pastries, look at
Dude.
this little coffee, and then she's
They
like trying
have
to pick a picture and shit.
That's
So-
a really good place for that. They have
Yeah.
the most adorable pastries. They have homemade
yeah.
Pop-Tarts.
Oh my god.
And they have like
Nice.
sprinkles on them. They're good. And they're
Anson,
so
you're gonna
cute.
pull up.
I'm excited. Well, I only work till like 10 usually, so you gotta pull up
Oh my god, no.
early.
I'm still waiting on her by 10. Roy.
What's up?
Have y'all heard the Minute Hour? Oh man, it's funny. It's a podcast. Y'all like podcasts or just into making podcasts?
I love comedy podcasts. It's
You
about
would love
what kind of podcasts do you listen to?
it. Comedy too.
Which ones?
The Minute Hour.
Just that
who's
one?
the host?
Pretty much. The Minute Hour. I don't know. They're short. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look it up.
After that, I need to ask you something after we look that up. I forgot I was going to bring this up.
It's on YouTube, and it's some of them are on Spotify, but my favorite ones are just on YouTube.
This one?
Yeah. I don't know if there's any episode. I never looked them up on Instagram before.
Seinfeld, huh?
Okay.
Dude, it's fucking weird. It's so funny.
Jesus.
Dude, yeah, it's absurd. Do you like I Think You Should Leave, the show?
I don't even know what that is.
It's on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix, yeah. You should check that one out. It's really funny too. They're both like absurd.
Okay.
Like, that's like I know you would like it because the absurdity in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it's like a bunch. It's like if the crazy scenes where she like makes herself into all kinds of weird things just lasted forever.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I will.
Strange things.
What were we going to ask you?
Do you still have pet rats? Oh, no.
They only live for 2 years, man. They only live for 2 years.
I wanted some, and I told my friend, and he was like, dude, they only live for 2 years. I'm like, man, what the fuck? Just let me go. Fucking have them.
Well, I have one who is possibly still alive. So I had 3 boys, and but George and Tolly died like right at 2, pretty much. Tolly was a little older. Bread was still alive last week, but he goes in and out now. It's so cute. So there's like this little hole in the wall where a dryer tube is supposed to go, but I don't have a dryer. But that's where his little house is at, and he loves going outside. My pet rats had him, so he grew up in the house. So he went outside with the cats, and so he would go and sit in his little rat place, and he had a little nest somewhere. But he was so old, he had a hunchback. Poor dude, he's like elderly for a rat, and he didn't come home for 2 days, so he might have died out there in his secret hideout outside. Which, you know.
Have you always had rats, or was this just kind of like your first?
This was my first time, and oh boy.
You're handling that pretty well.
Where'd you get them at?
I got them at Walter's, which... Fuck, man, the pet industry is so fucked up. It's just like, I got rats. I got 2 rats. They were like, they're all boys. And I was like, word. So my rat had babies. She had 5 babies.
Nice.
And oh god, rats reproduce so fast. And I had 7 rats. So I built a giant cage. I took one of the male rats to get fixed. He got fixed. By the time I just didn't have the money. So for a while, the other boys weren't fixed, and they were babies, and they had babies again. And I was like, I don't have the money, so I had to take my ladies, but my girls, like 2 girls, I had to take them back to the pet store with their babies, knowing, that's it. They're gonna live an awful fucking life, and then they're gonna die. And I was like, what am I gonna do? Put them outside? Like, this is so fucked up. So now I know. You have to know. It was the worst day of my life. I drove backwards in traffic. I drove into oncoming traffic to get to the pet store faster because my rat, my fully grown rat, was like opening the box that they were in, and like I was like driving with one hand, like just like
Jesus,
and I fucking was like crying, and I was like I was like just super emotional, and I learned a lot from that. And so part of the reason why I'm so chill today when I don't know if my rat is alive, but it was such an intense experience. And it was just because I didn't know how to check their genitalia. And it's this
I was going to ask you, how do you do that?
I looked at Google pictures for hours and could not. I don't know if I'm stupid or if it's just really hard to tell. But when my rats were tiny, I could not tell. like, I wasn't sure until two of them got pregnant, or one of them got pregnant. But anyway, yeah, you gotta know how to do that, and that's hard because the pet store won't tell you, and the conditions they're kept in the pet store are terrible. That's
really why I don't go to Walters. I can't go in there,
dude.
He's got a goddamn parrot. I can't see that thing in there.
I know.
Or I don't know if he does anymore.
Yeah,
he still does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those things live forever.
Yeah, they do.
I think he's an alligator, if I'm not mistaken.
He's an alligator.
He did.
He had a fennec fox.
He's got that like exotic area. I've never been.
I've never been in there either.
That's where I saw the. I think there was a monkey back there too.
No, I've seen a little.
I wanted a pet monkey for the longest time, but then I realized
it's like a child.
But also, somebody told me like
Forever.
They're so smart that they know that they're being held captive, and it makes them depressed. So I was like,
oh man. Well, so do rats. Yeah. So do cats. So do dogs. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Cats are different. I think they know they can just do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, but some people do keep them like in a tiny space. People can burn in hell. Well, no, like what if you want to have a cat and you live in New York on like the 418th floor? Like what the fuck are you gonna do?
I was gonna say, don't have a cat. No, I mean,
you want a kitty.
Yeah,
you want a kitty.
I mean, cats don't need that much space as much as like a dog.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure. But they definitely a cat experiences depression, I would say. I mean, which rooftop garden, that's what you do. You make a rooftop garden to take your cat into.
You get him a girlfriend, let him have a mate for life, and then there's two of them and they can be chilling with each other.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the feeling of confinement.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe they...
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if monkeys do, cats do. Mm-hmm. I would say. I mean, yeah.
I still want a pet
that's
monkey.
An animal thing.
I wouldn't.
Dude, that would take up all your time.
I thought you changed your mind after we watched Nope.
Oh,
no. These are chimpanzees were never in the question because I knew those things grow up to be. They can rip you in half.
And spider monkeys are cool.
But like a little like the subspecies of monkey that are like tiny.
Those are cute.
Like a capuchin monkey. Those are pretty smart animals. That'd be pretty cool to have. But
that would be cool. That would be so cool.
Shout out to George the monkey.
It's like living with like a incredibly strong and fast schizophrenic child.
My next animal that I want is a mule. A mule. I want a piece of land and I want a mule. Those look pretty cool.
A mule. A piece of land. Man, I want chickens. I want.
And you would just let him chill on your land, just do it.
Yeah, I do whatever he wants. Come stay inside.
Oh,
in my room.
That's fucking cute.
Yeah, man.
Man, that's adorable.
I want chickens too. My friend has Mr. Swagadelic. He has chickens.
That's cool.
He has a fucking chameleon. It's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
That thing is badass.
Wow, I bet it moves. It moves like this, right?
It hissed at me. It scared me.
LOL, what'd you do to it?
Meow.
He didn't want me to pick him up, and he hissed. I was like, I didn't know they could do that. And they don't. That one doesn't change. It only changes shades of green. Like when it's pissed off, it gets real dark.
That's funny.
It's pretty cool.
That's
pretty cool animal. I don't know how long those things live, but he shoots his little tongue out.
How cute.
Like a little.
Will you continue to get rats?
Yeah. I just need to get into a place where should a rat emergency happen, I can take them all to the vet and it won't tank me.
You had a pretty sweet setup. I think we saw it one time.
It was, it was super cool. It was huge.
And they get along with the cats?
Yeah, they get along with the cats.
Dang, that's crazy.
My youngest cat, my cat's baby, is like still too playful and bred so old.
Oh, your babies had babies.
Yeah, Lemon only had one kitten.
Lemon.
Lemon, yeah, which is crazy. Technically, she had two, but one of them only grew to be this big. It was fine. Lemon didn't care. Lemon like had this creature. It's tiny. She like looked at it. She was like, okay. And then like super easy and fast, she had a whole ass kitten. And I was like, damn. And I was on a lot of acid. It was my birthday.
Dang, did she eat it? The little thing? Like the little...
No, the placenta. They eat the placenta.
Oh, yeah, but I've heard like sick...
Gerbils.
I've heard with dogs.
Dogs?
When there's like a sick one that's not... They just know it's not going to make it.
Dogs?
Like they'll eat it.
I thought that was just gerbils.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, I didn't know about gerbils.
Yeah. I don't know about a gerbil. I would never.
Damn it!
fuck with
Now I want
gerbils.
rats again because I want
Rats are really,
I used to
really
have a friend. I
sweet.
went to her house and she had a white rat. His name was Albus, and he was just the softest thing, and he was so squirmy, and he was just
They're
so cuddly.
so cuddly.
Yeah,
My
I'll
uncle
never
has
forget how soft
He has a
is.
ferret. He had 2 ferrets.
Ferrets are cool.
Fucking
They're
awesome.
so cute.
I want one of those
Do
too.
they really smell all the time, or can you do something about it?
They were stinky.
Dang, I don't know
But
if
it was
I could
okay.
do that. It was okay. It was worth it. You would say
Yeah, I live with 4 dogs, and I'm
dogs.
used to the
are
damn smell.
stinky.
I got a fat beagle. She stinks. Her dog stinks. You know,
Gum is.
it's worth it. I love animals.
Yeah,
I just
animals.
I'm waiting to. It's kind of like the kids. I'm waiting a little to be a little
Yep.
older, have a little bit more money.
Yeah, definitely,
Mhm.
definitely.
Give me a few rats.
I think it would be really great to have rats and cats that get along, and around when you have kids that are young that can learn, like with the cats and the rats, like, oh, like some things are big, some things are small. Small things are like, you have to be soft, and that way whenever they're a toddler, they're not like grabbing shit and like smashing it like as hard as they can into things.
God.
Which I feel like sometimes kids just do shit like that. They'll
Yeah.
do it probably
Kids are
still,
crazy.
but
I love watching those videos of
Might
like
help.
cats meeting their newborn
oh, that's
siblings
cute.
for the first time. It's pretty funny.
They literally hate them most of the time. They're like,
That's really funny.
Yeah, I love cats, but they're assholes.
have you
Some of
seen
them-
those
the
TikToks
male
where it'll be like
ones,
the
I feel
cats like playing with the baby, and it'll be something like stairs in voodoo or like stairs in like
The cat?
yeah.
Yeah,
I believe like that cats are like cursed. That's why they say like to bring like babies around cats and shit. Not to
Whoa,
put- yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like a Haitian thing.
Oh yeah,
Interesting.
sorry.
So-
That's were you saying like the cat will steal its soul or something like that?
People believe like cats can be possessed by witches.
We had the Lilith thing in the West. The Lilith thing right over here
Mm-hmm.
in this area.
What is that?
So Lilith was like this archetype and this like scary story figure that
Mm-hmm.
would steal babies or possess them or replace them with demon babies. And some people say that was like because they didn't have birth control. So they'd be like, oh, this is a demon.
No, this is like what, Lilith was supposed to be what like a
Is this white folks?
I'm not sure. I think maybe. I'm not sure.
huh?
I said, is this white folks?
Because
No, this is like a satanic thing, almost like it's
Oh.
like
it
a
is, yeah, because
Yeah.
Lilith is
daughter of Satan or like what?
wife,
Wife.
lover that God kills, and that's why Satan becomes Satan, right? In this myth, in this particular myth. I believe that's Lilith. But all I know is that they named a celestial body Lilith and astrology
Yeah.
like crazy over it.
It's like a placement almost, right?
It is a placement, and it's your shadow.
Yeah. And it's
So-
not always a bad thing, apparently. I don't know.
Oh, it's like it is it's whatever your fear is, whatever you fear that you will become, it is that. And so if your fear is like, if you're not so afraid, it won't be so big. If you can look it in the eye, it will get smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's not always bad, because it does like bring up, you're afraid because you're in pain, and you're in pain because you love something, and it's not being like, if you have trauma around your parents and you're in pain, it's because you couldn't like experience that love or love them. And so, you know, it leads you back to love. Just like it's like in that movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. It can lead you down into the shadow, and you get to that. Nothing matters. And the shadow, the reason why Lilith is like, sometimes people girl bossify Lilith. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's the right, even how you use that. But like because she's like seductive, because the shadow like utilizes desire. And so people are like, wow, Lilith is a badass, like feminist queen. Like Lilith ate children. Lilith ate children like a bird in the night, like the velociraptor in Jurassic
Oh my
Park.
god, that's some she was not shit. You just said bird in the night. You better stop it.
Well, that's what I thought. I thought that's what it was gonna end up being.
I mean, now that
you saw.
now that you just said that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I see something. Yeah.
Yeah, so Lilith is there in the psyche, embodied in the shadow, and it has this, like, because you can't see it, it's very lunar, and there's a very fine line between lunar and lunacy. So there's like this element of madness that you get if you really go into the shadow, embody the shadow. But like I said, you know, nothing can last forever. So you'll come out of the shadow and then you'll be like, holy shit, I was here and I had traveled up here and down here. But now I am here. I just woke up and I'm here. But on your way back to where you were, neutral, not crazy, then you're kind of also learning about that there's something here and there's something here and there's something here. So it kind of like broadens your awareness. So that's cool. But, you know, say la vie. I used to be so into astrology.
Yeah.
But I'm manic depressive, and I had an experience with mania and astrology and delusions of reference that was like so intense that I was like, I better put that down. But, you know, slowly I'm like from a more neutral space getting back into it.
Yeah. I think astrology isn't anything to like base your life around or anything.
It's very dangerous. That way.
Yeah. But I think it can be good for like more like introspective things, you know, like learning about yourself and like the way you process things and why some emotions are heavier and why some.
I feel like it's because it creates intricacy.
Yeah. Like if I've ever, like all the things I've been interested in astrology, maybe it's just because I have a big ego. I'm a narcissist. I don't know. But like, crazy. I read it because I'm just kind of like,
astrology, I want to learn about me.
What about me? How do I understand me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you learn from looking within.
Yeah, but I've known some people that are like, blah, blah, blah is a Virgo, blah, blah, blah is this, and that's why, you know, like just basing life and love and making excuses about,
I've done that.
You know,
I've done that for a really long time. And on the one hand, there were a lot of experiences that were so trippy because of it. And that was cool. But on the other hand, like everything becomes trippy when you are like almost on purpose. Yeah. Living in a dream. You're living in a like, and the thing is that when you're doing that, you're asking for too much divination. It's like overindulging, you know, like astrology is like a possible map, and in having these possibilities established in like a shape, it creates these little spaces where intricate things can happen, and that is enlightening, that is helpful. But that comes from almost anything. It's like
just life.
Yeah it's like anytime you have,
like, you can learn anything from anything you go through in life. It isn't because the moon was in this or whatever. Well, it's just something that happened to happen when the moon was in that, and you can choose. It's not
always chance. Sometimes it's synchronicity, which is like in between dream and reality. Like it's not just real fake out there. It's like a whole weird spectrum, you know, of whatever the fuck is in the soup. But like
the soup. I mean, I live this way. Just call it different things. You know.
Yeah.
I feel you. I believe in all that.
The moon has done some crazy shit this year.
I do believe the moon has a big effect on everything. I mean, it affects the temperature, the way the water moves.
We have water. We have a lot of water.
My mom's a very devout Catholic, and she was like, man, when it's a full moon, because she used to work at Hutch, she's like, them kids act fucking crazy when there's a full fucking moon.
I've got clients that are nurses and lawyers and social workers, and the full moon is always the craziest time for them. It just is what it is.
Dude, it's the craziest time. It is. And that's what I love about tarot. That was like kind of the first thing I ever got into. I was in high school and I was at this music camp. I was working as like a counselor at a music camp, and the guitar teacher was like, he had tarot cards. And I was like, what's that? And then he showed me what it was. And then he was like, do you want it? And I was like, yeah. And he just gave it to me. So I just like learned about it and got into it. But there's a fool.
That's how it's supposed to happen though, right? You're supposed to be given your cards.
Like I said, supposed to. Yeah. I just like my brain.
That's just how it happened for you.
My brain cannot with that. Like I have driven myself to insanity on the word supposed to. Like supposed to is a crazy thing. I can't wrap my brain around that at all.
Yeah.
I know, I forgot what I was saying entirely.
How you got into tarot? He gave you the cards.
Yeah, but there's a full card and a nameless arcanum. That's what I was saying. And it's like the full moon and the new moon. They mirror each other. The shape of the Fool figure is a guy, and there's a skeleton in the nameless arcanum that is in the exact same position. And one of them is all of the potential, and the other one is post-death point. So it's like the full moon and the emptiness of the new moon. So yeah, I don't know. The moon archetype is deeply rooted. I don't think that's a coincidence.
So you know how to do all that, the cards?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's kind of a language that I don't always speak fluently.
That's an interesting way to put it. I didn't even think of it like that. A language. Huh. That makes more sense now.
It's the same thing as like astrology. It's like creating possibilities that it's like a puzzle. Your brain solves it, and in the process of putting it together, finds new perspective, and that's all you needed. You know, something to break the pattern. It's like that's what's cool about it being chance. But when it lines up with something in your intuition, that's synchronicity, and that's just it aligning with your life. So it's kind of just like a mirror. When you do it on purpose, that's like divination. You can't be over. You got to live for things to happen in the cards.
Damn, man.
I have them.
You know, I'm a little scared of those, so let's not bring those out.
Can I ask why?
I think it's the Catholic in me.
Really?
It just
actually these are like they were, whenever they were invented, them and the Catholic Church were like buddies, and it uses the archetypes. This is the deck I have is the second recorded deck, and there's a pope and a high priestess, and the Catholic Church and the tarot were like friends, and then the politics changed, and the church was like, you can't do that anymore, because the new guy doesn't like it. So I feel like that might be where it's from. In like the beginnings of history, maybe, because that's an old seed that was planted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out how to say it. It sounds like a lot in the way, like, you know, you can't just pray for something. You gotta like experience life. You can't just pray for patience. You gotta go out and get it. And well, yeah, you got to go out and put yourself in situations that are going to build your patience. You know, that's what I'm like. It's all the same. We're all in the goddamn soup. It's all the same shit.
Yeah.
Just different fucking words in different places.
Symbols, different symbols.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love those symbols. They're fun.
I think that's another thing that scares me is like symbols and all that shit. I don't know why.
Symbols are terrifying because it's hard to tell the line between symbols in the world and your own symbols, like the mysticism out there and then your personal mysticism. It's like it's a wavy line. It's like not really there. I feel like it's hard. But there's a lot of really cool philosophical stuff about that I wish I knew a lot about symbols. And
that's one thing I'm starting to get into is like philosophy and all of that stuff.
That stuff is cool.
It is very interesting.
There's that like simulacrum something. I can't remember, but it deals with that. That's cool. Carl Jung had a lot to say about symbols in a kind of wavy way. He had his archetypes. I feel like there are cooler like takes on symbols. I just don't know. I know
symbols and numbers and all of that stuff.
Yeah, symbols. Well, I guess symbols help you process the world, and that you have to have them. Your brain just creates symbols. It's like innate. And so like you could map out like psychologically how that happens in your brain, and you would have like the perfect understanding of yourself. If you like figured out how your brain creates symbols, then you're just like you're learning yourself. So it's interesting, definitely. That was a really abstract thing to say. But
yeah, man, this whole conversation has been very interesting. I didn't know what to expect when we started, but this has been crazy.
I had a good conversation.
This was a very
it was really cool.
it was really cool, and I really enjoyed it.
And I think it's really cool that you listen to the podcast.
Oh yes, thank you.
Like you genuinely, you know.
How would I have known to come up?
That was,
and like, can I be on that?
You're like one of the first persons to ever do that. I was
Really?
like, yeah, sure.
That's crazy. I thought you were gonna be like, oh, everyone wants that. Okay.
I wish. That's why I was like, yeah. Nobody ever asked. So fuck it. Let's do
Dang,
it.
that's cool. Well, I'm glad I did.
This has been very, very fun. I'm gonna think about a lot of things now.
Are we gonna watch Everything Everywhere
Eventually,
at once?
yes.
No, let's watch it soon.
Soon, Sickle. We will watch it.
We'll watch it post Halloween.
No, are you selling any of your? We can do that. Selling any of your art? Can they follow you somewhere? Anything like that?
They can follow me on the Instagram. I'm gonna make prints of my art for like $10. I make zines. I give them away for free.
Oh no way!
You could ask me for one of them. There's 2 that I have right now. There's one of them.
Which one
in
is
the corner? The one
This
that's
one?
like cut out and stuff.
This one?
Yeah. I haven't printed these, but man, if you want one, I like to carry them around, but I always forget to hand them out. But if you like it, you can have it. Like, I'll make a copy.
Yeah, I'll take one.
For cool.
Put it in the studio.
And I'll have them at.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel, people. Thanks, guys, and one love. We'll see you guys next time.
Oh yeah.